All right, Tim, that brings us to the Unfiltered Refresh, sponsored by Coors Light. Choose chill, get Coors Light delivered. Go to CoorsLight.com/USLNT. A lot of times I ask you who chose chill this week. This time, there's only one answer. Soccer fans, all of you in America chose chill.
Amazing.
So Ampere Analysis did a study, and the question was, who is, as a fan, who is your self-declared favorite sport? What is your self-declared favorite sport? This was last quarter of 2024, and this is percentage-wise. So 36% about said American football, 17% or so said basketball. You would have thought next would be baseball. However, it is not. It is soccer. And that comes in about 10%, and baseball falls behind around 8 or 9%. And then hockey, tennis, boxing /MMA, and golf. This is phenomenal for a lot of reasons, Tim. I remember vividly, I don't remember the exact day or time, but I remember I used to go to ESPN all the time, like on the internet. And they would have like four sports, or they would have all the sports highlighted across, and it was in order of importance. So it was NFL, basketball, baseball, hockey. And then for a while, it was, I don't know, tennis and then soccer. And one day I clicked on it and it was NFL, basketball, baseball, soccer, then hockey. And I was like, and people always use the comment, like, what are the big four? Like, what do you do the big four? And I'm like, well, soccer's now the big four. So you can stop referring to hockey as the big four. And I love hockey, by the way. Now you can say the big three include soccer. Yeah. And that's phenomenal.
It's incredible because I mean you go back decades, and you know when I was growing up as a kid in the 80s and the 90s, soccer was an afterthought, and the question was constantly raised like, can the U.S. ever crack the big four in America? And now not only they cracked it, they're part of the discussion, and I think it's a really difficult thing to do in our country because when you go across the world, there's only really one sport. Soccer is the only sport in most of these countries. You may not have cricket. You might have rugby in certain, but like soccer dominates the sporting landscape and oftentimes the cultural landscape. So like it's a big deal in America. We have so many sports that take your attention. The fact that soccer is now part of that discussion in terms of the top four, huge.
Phenomenal. Soccer fans in America, we're cheersing you this week for choosing chill. Great job, guys.